What if a stranger called you in your best friend's voice and convinced you to hand over money? Imagine you get a voicemail that sounds exactly like your sibling. The voice orders an urgent transfer. Your heart races. You almost comply. Why? Because tone beats headers. Humans trust familiar voices and language. This trick used to require months of research or luck. Now AI can clone a voice from seconds of audio and craft plausible requests in minutes. We'll unpack how that works and why it matters next. AI is a power tool with two faces. In defense, it spots anomalies and automates tedious work. In offense, it multiplies speed, scale, and believability. One attacker can draft thousands of personalized lures in the time a human writes one. Quality improves too. Messages match tone, jargon, and context. The economics change. Lower cost means more attacks from stranger actors. Next, we look at the single most common abuse: AI-driven phishing. Phishing used to stink of bad grammar and obvious scams. Today, attackers scrape LinkedIn posts, press releases, and GitHub commits. They feed that data into a model and produce an on-brand email that mentions real project names. The message arrives fluent, contextual, and often multilingual. Attackers can also maintain believable back-and-forths for days. You won't trust the sender field, you'll trust the tone. But there's another tool attackers add to this mix. Voice cloning and deepfakes amplify social engineering. Attackers can record a few seconds and reproduce cadence, pauses, and accent. Families have lost money to grandparent calls. Companies have authorized fraudulent wire transfers after mocked-up executive calls. Detection tools exist, but they lag behind realistic impersonation. Human verification protocols still matter. Later, we'll cover practical verification rituals you can adopt today. AI helps build and evolve malware faster. Models suggest code snippets, fix bugs, and recombine components into new variants. That means more polymorphic malware that evades signature-based scanners. Skilled operators still orchestrate major attacks, but the learning curve for novices shrinks. Think of malware development like a recipe book that now auto-adjusts ingredients to bypass your oven's sensors. Next, we'll explore how attackers find targets at scale. Reconnaissance compresses from days to minutes. AI summarizes public data and maps attack surfaces at speed. DNS records, exposed cloud buckets, and leaked tokens get stitched into an exploitation plan automatically. Models can even suggest which known CVEs map to a target's tech stack. That doesn't create 0 days on demand, but it does find known gaps while defenders sleep. After that, attackers often target credentials, and they do it smarter now. Credential attacks became more efficient with AI. Models generate smarter password guesses and prioritize likely permutations. Combined with leaked dumps, credential stuffing scales. The answer isn't stronger passwords alone. Phishing-resistant MFA like passkeys and hardware security keys neutralize stolen passwords. If you can, move away from SMS and one-time codes. Next, we'll see how attackers directly target defenders' AI systems. Adversarial machine learning flips the game against defenders. Attackers poison training data to bias models. They craft inputs that slip past classifiers and carry out prompt injection to overwrite instructions. Some adversaries try to extract model behavior or clone services. These techniques make defensive models brittle unless teams build guardrails and monitor training pipelines. The turf shifts from servers to datasets, and that changes how defenders prioritize risk. Here's a blunt reality. Automation equals force multiplication. One actor can customize thousands of messages per hour and run parallel campaigns. Markets sell deepfakes and rented botnets. The barrier to entry drops while the volume rises. That means defenders face more noise and more convincing signals simultaneously. So how do we change the defender's math and blunt disadvantage? The answer starts with process plus technology. Attackers compress the kill chain and personalized at scale. Recon, craft, delivery, and follow-up can now run in one automated workflow. That shrinks the time defenders have to react and expands the types of believable lures in play. Traditional assumptions about sloppiness no longer hold. So what concrete actions can organizations take right now to push back? I'll walk through a practical, prioritized playbook next. AI-augmented detection improves signal to noise. Behavioral analytics model normal user and device behavior Then flag anomalies early. Triage systems summarize alerts and recommend next steps to analysts. For high-confidence detections, policy-driven automation can isolate hosts or revoke tokens immediately. The sweet spot is human-in-the-loop. Let AI surface cases. Let analysts confirm before full remediation. That balance prevents mistakes and speeds response. Next, we discuss identity as the new perimeter. Identity is the new perimeter because social engineering targets people more than firewalls. Deploy phishing-resistant MFA such as FIDO2 keys and passkeys. Enforce conditional access and step-up authentication for risky actions. Rotate and vault secrets. Remove standing privileges, and monitor impossible travel or odd device fingerprints. Strong identity controls stretch attackers' timelines and reduce dependency on perfect detection, but humans will still be targeted. We'll cover how to harden that layer next. Harden the human layer with protocols that defeat impersonation. Require callbacks to known numbers for any money request. Use out-of-band approvals for vendor changes and high-value transfers. Run role-play drills that simulate deepfake calls and AI phishing. Teach muscle memory. Pause, verify, escalate. Microcopy in portals and templates should explain never to send certain data by email. These steps lower the blast radius when someone slips up. If you deploy AI internally, treat models like production systems. Threat model your LLMs for prompt injection, data leakage, and poisoned inputs. Add input filters, redact secrets before sending to external APIs, and log prompts and responses. Red team your models with adversarial prompts to reveal weaknesses. Explore media provenance and watermarking for synthetic content. Vendor due diligence matters. Ask providers about abuse detection, patch cadence, and incident response plans. Next, we'll tighten email hygiene. Email and domain hygiene remain effective and affordable. Enforce SPF, DKIM, and DMARC with P equals reject once alignment is fixed. Use BIMI to display verified brand markers. Monitor lookalike domains and typo squats and register critical variants proactively. Quarantine first-time senders to sensitive teams like finance and HR. These controls don't stop every phish, but they raise friction and increase detection odds considerably. Limit what attackers can access if they get in. Apply least privilege and just-in-time access to reduce lateral movement. Tag and encrypt sensitive datasets and block mass downloads. Implement DLP for generative AI usage and scrub secrets from prompts. Log identity events, email activity, and cloud API calls for fast investigation. These basic controls often stop a convincing message from turning into a material breach. A practical playbook keeps budgets realistic and impact high. For individuals, enable passkeys. Use hardware keys, freeze credit, and avoid posting voice clips. For small businesses, enforce phishing-resistant MFA for admins. Require callbacks for payments. Set DMARC to quarantine, then reject, and run AI-aware drills quarterly. For enterprises, adopt zero trust, roll out passkeys, instrument UEBA, and govern LLM usage with logging and red teams. Tiny early steps yield big protection. Here are short case examples that show what works. Finance verification ritual. Every wire needs a ticket ID, callback, and two-person approval. Executive protection. Treat exec calendars and voice clips as sensitive assets. AI governance. Run LLMs behind an API gateway with input filtering and secret scrubbing. These concrete controls turn theory into practice. Next, we'll dispel common myths that give false comfort. Myth 1. AI makes all phishing undetectable. Not true. Process and identity reduce risk. Myth 2. Deepfake detectors will save us. They help, but verification rituals beat reliance on tools alone. Myth 3. Small companies aren't targets. Automation finds money and access, so size isn't a shield. The bottom line, you don't need to out AI attackers at every step. You need to add noise, delay, and verification to the attack path. Key takeaways before we close. Attackers use AI to scale and personalize. Deepfakes raise stakes, but verification rituals matter most. Identity controls like passkeys dramatically reduce risk. Combine AI-driven detection with strong processes and least privilege. Start small, enforce DMARC, require callbacks for payments, and run realistic drills. Those steps make the path to breach longer and noisier for attackers. Ready to take the first practical step? If you found this useful, hit like, subscribe for practical AI security guides. and tell us in the comments which defense you'll adopt first.